You know that sound, that high-pitched whine right by your ear? Yep, it's the sound of summer, and it means you're about to be dinner. If you've ever felt like you're the only one on the menu while everyone else is just fine, well, you're not imagining it. Today, we are going to dive deep into the science of what really makes someone a mosquito magnet.
All right, here's our game plan. First up, we're going to confirm that yes, being a mosquito magnet is a real thing. Then we'll bust some of those popular myths you've probably heard. After that, we'll get into the actual science of what makes you so attractive to them. Then, the good stuff, your ultimate defense guide. And finally, we'll cover what to do after you get bit anyway.
Okay, let's start right there, by validating that feeling, because it's real. If you've ever joked that you're a human mosquito lamp, well, you're not being dramatic. It is a 100% real phenomenon, and there's actual science behind why you're getting all that unwanted attention.
I mean, you know the scene, right? You're at a BBQ, trying to enjoy the evening, and bam, suddenly you're covered in these itchy red bumps. But you look over and your friends are totally fine. Not a single bite. It's so frustrating, and it happens all the time.
Yeah, if this picture looks painfully familiar, then you are absolutely in the right place. And don't worry, we're going to figure out exactly why this happens, and more importantly, what you can actually do about it.
And look, this is why it's so much more than just an annoying itch. Mosquitoes, they're actually the deadliest animal on the entire planet. We're talking over 700,000 deaths every single year from diseases like malaria, dengue, and Zika. So yeah, understanding how to deal with them, it's pretty crucial.
All right, so before we can fight back effectively, we have to clear the air. There are a lot of myths out there, so it is officially time for some myth busting.
I'm sure you've heard this one a million times, right? Oh, it's my blood type. They love type O. And yeah, a couple of small studies kind of hinted at that, but honestly, the overall scientific evidence is really weak. The real story is way more interesting, and it has to do with something much more personal than what's in your veins.
Okay, what about the whole acidic body myth? That you're just more acidic than other people? Well, that one is pure fiction. Your body is an amazing machine, and it works incredibly hard to keep your blood pH in a super tight, stable range. So, medically speaking, the idea that you have an acidic body that mosquitoes love? Nope, it just doesn't hold water. So if it's not your blood type, and it's not some made-up body pH, then what is it? Well, now we're getting to the real heart of the matter. The number one reason you are so darn appealing comes down to your very own, personal, unique scent signature.
I want you to think of yourself as a beacon, just pulsing out signals. For more than 100 feet away, a mosquito can pick up on the carbon dioxide you breathe out. That gets its attention. As it gets closer, it hones in on your body heat. But the final signal, the thing that guides it in for a perfect landing, that's your specific, unique chemical scent.
And this is the really cool part. A big study in 2022, published in the journal Cell, finally nailed it. They pinpointed the key ingredient in that scent. It's a group of chemicals called carboxylic acids. And it turns out that so-called mosquito magnets produce way more of these on their skin.
So how do you end up with this custom mosquito perfume? It's actually a pretty straightforward process. Okay, step 1, your skin makes natural oils called sebum. Step 2, all the tiny bacteria living on your skin, that's your microbiome, they eat that oil. Step 3, that whole process creates your unique blend of those carboxylic acids we just talked about. And finally, step 4, the mosquito smells it, locks on, and well, it's dinner time.
And this science, it perfectly explains why certain groups of people are just irresistible to mosquitoes. See if any of these sound like you. People with a fast metabolism, check. Folks who sweat easily, check. Pregnant women, big check. Athletes or anyone right after a workout, yep. All of these groups tend to have higher body temps and produce more of the stuff that creates that alluring scent.
Okay, so now we know the why, we get the science, let's get to the most important part. How do we basically become invisible to these little vampires? It is time for your ultimate defense guide.
So when we're talking about repellents, you really have 3 main choices that science backs up. First, you've got DEET. It's the old school gold standard. It's super effective. Then there's Picaridin. It works just as well as DEET, but it's much gentler on the skin, which makes it a fantastic choice for kids and pregnant women. And what about all those essential oils? Well, they can work, but they don't last long at all. You'd have to reapply them constantly. But it's not just about sprays. There are some simple tricks that can make a huge difference. For one, mosquitoes are actually attracted to dark colors, so wearing light-colored clothing can really help. Also, just keeping your skin clean can reduce some of that oily buildup we talked about.
And here's a pro tip for you. If you're using sunscreen, put it on a good 15 minutes before your repellent. That way, both products can do their jobs properly.
But listen, personal defense is only half the battle. If you really want to win the war, you have to go on the offensive and destroy their breeding grounds. It's just 4 simple steps. First, inspect. Look all around your house and yard for any standing water. Second, pour. Dump out any water you find. Third, clean. Give those containers a good cleaning to get rid of any gunk. And finally, brush. You gotta scrub the inside walls because that's where they lay their sticky little eggs.
But let's be real. Sometimes, no matter what you do, one of those little guys is gonna get through. So what do? When all your prevention fails and you're left with that dreaded, insanely itchy bump?
The first thing you want to do, that overwhelming urge, is to scratch it, right? I know, but you have to resist. Scratching just makes the inflammation worse. You risk getting an infection, and it actually makes the itch stick around longer. So, seriously, hands off.
Okay, here's what to do instead to get some actual relief. First, just gently wash the spot with soap and water. Next, grab a cold compress or an ice pack. That'll help with the swelling and it'll numb the itch. You can also grab an over-the-counter cream with antihistamines to calm that reaction down. And if it's a really, really angry-looking bite, a mild steroid cream can be a big help with the inflammation. So, there you have it. We've busted the myths, we've looked at the science, and we've laid out the strategy. You are now officially armed with the knowledge you need to fight back. The only question left is, can you outsmart the world's deadliest animal?